Okay, we're live. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Shopify Founder Sessions. We are here today with Mike from Authentic Brew. Hi, Mike. Welcome.
Hello, Olivia. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks so much for joining us. I'm interested in learning a little bit about Authentic Brew and how you guys got started. So, just to start, would you mind just telling us like a quick, I don't know, maybe like 60-second version about how you founded Authentic Brew?
In 60 seconds, oh,
You can do more if you
I'll
want.
give
No
it a go.
worries. Not strict.
Um, yeah, I think for me, I was 15 years in tech, and yeah, started at the very bottom and sort of worked my way up to the top in exec leaderships for some of the biggest IT corporates in the world, and yeah, realized that arena you really got to do your time. So my future looked like another 15 years in big corporate. So I got out of that and I got involved with a more nimble IT company. Four of us that we took over a company that had been around for about 20 years, and we just added in all our network and expertise, and we scaled that and sold it. And I stayed on with our buyer for 2 years. Everything was cool. Finished my role, and I thought, right now a bit of downtime. But yeah, handed in my laptop, and the very next day I couldn't get out of bed. And that lasted for about 3 months, like fully incapacitated. I couldn't, walk, couldn't take myself to the toilet, I couldn't feed myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I couldn't look at the lights. It was pretty bad, and went down the medical route and saw experts for neurology, cardiology, hematology, which is blood, hormones, body parts, and everything was cool. So yeah, they just couldn't help other than give me a load of prescription drugs. So yeah, antidepressants, sleeping tablets, painkillers, blood thinners, mood enhancers, you name it. And yeah, intuition said don't take any of that stuff, so I didn't, and I got introduced to the holistic world, um, which I wasn't familiar with. I'd been blinkered in my corporate world for so long. I missed like the natural world, like Mother Nature. So yeah, I found that and got back to my thriving self very quickly. So yeah, we looked to the market for some really cool products to help my recovery initially. And what I found is there was lots of amazing things out there, but like individually, like packed, there you could find like lion's mane over there, or natural ginseng over there, or organic sea kelp over there, but nothing really bringing it into sort of a single vessel. So we looked further afield. We looked at 4 continents, and it was the same thing. Loads of cool stuff individually, but nothing really in a single serve. And the ones that were out there were, yeah, it was just clever marketing. And when you look under the covers, it's substandard in terms of ingredients and provenance. And yeah, so we thought there's just something massively lacking here. So yeah, that was really how Authentic Brew was born. Um, so yeah, I'll pause.
What a cool story. That's awesome. I mean, it starts a little bit, obviously with this personal problem that was definitely, I imagine, not great to live through. But then you pulled out of it this really incredible company that can end up benefiting people that are in, similar
Yeah.
situation, which is awesome. And Authentic Brew, tell us a little bit about it. I was looking a little bit at, the packaging and the cans and, sort of the ingredients that it has in it. But how did, you decide on what kind of ingredients were going to go in? And maybe even tell us about who this is meant for and who you think is supposed to enjoy this kind of product.
Yeah, cool. So in terms of the ingredients, it was really born from my experience. So during my recovery, I had a team of sort of holistic healers, and they were going out and actually foraging locally on my behalf. So they were picking things just from what literally back garden and back fields, where I am in Hampshire in England. And yeah, it was just like grasses, roots, a bark of trees, berries of trees. There was mushrooms, and along the coast there was like different types of seaweeds. And I was just brewing those up with hot water, and consuming them. And yeah, within a short period of time, I really got my spark back. All my energy came back. My vibrancy returned. So it was those things that really spoke to me, and that's what we were looking for in the market. And there was nothing really there. Like I said, it was all individuals. So that we went with a very clear prescription of we want these things in one single can. And yeah, we went to 7 of the world's best liquid development companies, and one wanted to take it on because it was like ripping up the rule book. It was starting again because the industry's so used to working on templates and just tweaking the flavors accordingly. And we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to be just another drink in the market that's full of synthetics and ingredients that nobody knows, or they don't know where it's from. So we say it's powered by Mother Nature. It's like Mother Nature in a can with us. So yeah, 3 different types of organic mushrooms, 4 different types of organic seaweeds. There's 2 very powerful ancient roots in there, ginseng and rhodiola. And the rhodiola, we do a fermentation on it, so it passes the blood-brain barrier and goes straight into central nervous system. There's some more familiar things in there, like organic kombucha for like a sort of gut health and a bit of flavor and carbonation. And then things like chamomile and L-theanine for calming. And then more familiar notes, we use lemongrass, lemon peel, and grape juice as well. That provides a bit of sweetness as well through the drink. But yes, 100% natural, and we say functional energy for mind, body, and soul. So it's for people who have fed up with all the compromises of mainstream, and they're looking for something a little bit more premium that they can trust, and that supports their everyday lifestyle.
That's awesome. It sounds incredible. I really need to try it. I have not tried it. I'm not sure how easy it is to get over in Spain, but I would love to try it. It's right up my alley. Like, I'm always looking for everything natural. I don't drink caffeine because it makes me go crazy. So it sounds like it would be a good option. So coming up with, you said you had to go to several different places to come up with the proper mix and all of that. How difficult, like just thinking about this as a new founder, starting a new project and having to come up with the right formula, like how difficult was all of that process for you? And like, is there any advice you would give to any new founders who are, having to come up with a formula or find the proper distributor or find the proper product to sell? Like, how was that for you, and what advice would you give?
Yeah, it's hard. It was a bit of a minefield because this is not my industry, right? I was in IT for 15 years, so coming into this was a whole new world. So going to the so-called experts to talk about the ingredients you want in the can was really interesting. We got recommended by some amazing people within the network who heard the story and thought, oh, we'll help you, like we'll put you in touch with all these great people, and some of them are creating all the drinks you see on the market today, but they were looking at shortcuts and fast tracks to get these amazing ingredients in a can, and we said we don't want any of that. We don't want to compromise, and if it means we're compromising, I would have pulled out. I didn't want to just be another soda in the market that has a load of health claims. We wanted something legit. So it was a bit of a tough tall order, as they say, but we found one liquid development company who actually produced the drink called Seedlip. I don't know if you know that, but it's
I'm not familiar with Seedlip. No.
Seedlip are they were really the pioneers in an alcohol-free alternative to spirits. So they concocted about 10 years ago. They concocted their own formula instead of having gin and tonic or vodka and whatever. They came up with an alcohol-free version, which was way beyond.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that's the new phase for the last couple of years and the future. But if they started that ages ago,
so they helped us develop Authentic Brew. I think it was 15 months of R&D testing, getting it to a point where we could have those ingredients stable within a can. And yeah, we did 2,500 consumer tests before we went live. And yeah, we got it to a point where we were really happy. We knew that the market would love it. And yeah, what we say is our vision was forget the story, like forget the ingredients, forget the branding, forget the mission. If you sit in a room, with a blindfold on and you taste some, we want it to be the best tasting drink in the world. And that's what we believe we've created.
That's incredible. I think that's also like great advice for someone to think about, right? Like, don't just think, oh, I want to be the best wellness drink. Like, I want to be the best beverage. I love that. That's a great take. Yeah. And
Yeah.
just so I know, how long has Authentic Brew been in the market?
We've been in the market for 15 weeks now.
15
Yeah,
weeks.
so we're brand new. Yeah,
Brand spanking new.
yeah, brand new. And yeah, we sold out of our first run within 8 weeks. So
That's incredible.
yeah, so we had 6 weeks of like no product. We have to go do the next production run, and it all takes time. But we started shipping again this week. So yes, we're back in business, and it's been cool. We're getting a good momentum, good support.
That's so exciting. And so in that sense, I mean, it's a new brand, right? And when you first launched, 15 weeks ago, or maybe even let's say the whole process up until launch, what did success look like for you to get to that launch and to get to that sellout in these 15 weeks? And how do you think that definition evolved from when you first started, I don't know, the mix and the recipe and all of the packaging and things until now? What is success for you now? What was it when, let's say, what was it when you started? What's success for you now? And then what do you think success will be for you in the next 2 months, maybe?
Yeah, cool. I think success when we started out, it was just a concept, right? So there was nothing in the market that was really legit that would bring in all these amazing ingredients together. So the goal initially was just to see if that would be viable, and thankfully it was. So once we had that, we knew we had something pretty special. So then it was right. How can we get this out there to to the world? And our focus is very much direct to consumer. So you come online, go onto our website at www.authenticbrew.com, and you can purchase one off. So you can subscribe. There's a few different bundles. So it's really building that community. It's called the Authentic Brew Crew. So you come and join the crew and be a part of the movement. And also we're working with our mission is to work with some really aligned, and when I say aligned in terms of vision and values, flag what we call our lighthouse partnerships, which is not at the moment is not on like supermarket shop fronts. It doesn't quite work for us like the commercial optics yet. We're too small for that. So we want to work with some lighthouse partnerships that give us the scale. So some hotel groups, some really interesting like retail outlets who get a lot of people. They've got a lot of reach, in the UK and globally, who can help with the scale that you would typically get with a supermarket. But because that doesn't work, we've got to, find an alternative. So yeah, D2C and lighthouse partnerships is how we are going to market. And in terms of success, it's building both of those elements for us, which we're in the process of doing at the moment.
That's so exciting. So when you launched, especially that you're in the DTC space, I imagine there was a big launch on Shopify probably. And what do you think the biggest challenges or learnings were from, launching not only a new product, but also a new platform all at the same time?
So we launched on Shopify, and it's just a whole new world for us. Like, we didn't know anything about that, but thankfully, Shopify is a super intuitive platform. It was fairly straightforward to get our product out there, and luckily we've got a really world-class team at Authentic Brew. So some of the people involved, like my co-founder, is a guy called Andy Ramage. He's like the godfather of the alcohol-free movement. And he's been doing that for 12, 13 years. So he's built up a solid community, a trusted community. So putting Authentic Brew into that community really helped. We've got another one of our team members called Laura Crane. She's a history maker, big wave surfer. In Nazaré, she rides like crazy big waves. She's been all over the media recently. It looks like she's just surfed the biggest wave in history for a female surfer. So and she was been with us from the start, helping develop Authentic Brew and making sure that the benefits of the drink support her lifestyle. It's very full on. Like she's up at 4 o'clock in the morning training and out on the ocean for all that period of time. She wanted something that gave her that sustained energy and supported with muscle recovery and sleep, so she could do it all again the next day. So Authentic Brew ticked all those boxes. So her community as well, she's got a strong following. That certainly helped getting it out there. And then people who have I suppose are a bit tired of the usual suspects in the market claiming to be healthy and good for you, but there's caffeines, high caffeines, high sugars, lots of synthetic ingredients that can't be tracked to source. I think we're attracting quite a lot of that community as well, because like you, I during my burnout I had to come off caffeine, alcohol and sugars. So when I look for something in the market without those things, it's very limited.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we get a lot of the people as well who just can't consume coffee. They're drinking Authentic Brew as a replacement, and getting a bit of traction. And we've got big plans to take this globally, and we want to be the world's leading functional energy drink there is. So early days, but we're on a mission.
I'm really excited to try it. When the time comes, I'll try it. I'll let you know what I think. I'm sure it's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
So you're talking about, you've got your first wave of customers now. You sold out, you've been live for a very short amount of time, but have you found anything surprising at the moment in those customers that are excited to purchase? Anything maybe you thought that your main cohort was going to be, I don't know, Gen Z, but it ends up that your main cohort are like 55-year-old men. I don't know. Who knows? You never know. There's always something surprising.
Yeah, and we've had that. So we thought it was going to be quite a big split, like between men and women, but there's actually a big lean towards women. And yes, about 75% of our buyers are women over the age of 35, which is really interesting. And we think it's a lot to do with the way we're positioning it of Authentic Brew. If you look at our branding, see if I can show you I can here. It's a bit blurry.
I love the branding. It's beautiful.
It's pretty cool branding, and it's more neutral and a slight lean to the feminine because it's powered by Mother Nature. We're really harnessing that feminine force, whereas the market's quite heavily sort of crowded with more sort of macho colors and more. It's aimed at sort of high energy, for men, whereas we're a bit more softer, we're more balanced, it's more harmonious and powered by Mother Nature, which is a feminine force. So because of the ingredients, I think it really speaks to a woman of a certain age as well. And the benefits have been great with everyone who's tried it. But that caught us off guard. We didn't think it would be 75% women. We thought it was going to be more even.
Yeah, I think that's surprising, but I think you found like a almost maybe not a niche, but like a hole in the market, right? Like a lot of, energy drinks, whether they're wellness or not, tend to be, on that more extreme side of, energy and more macho type style. So I think there's probably a big need for it, and thus your sellout quite quickly.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I think traditional energy drinks, people have got images of a few certain brands that you get a big, energy spike and then a crash. We're very much not like that. Ours is, functional energy for mind, body, and soul. It's very sort of sustained, almost subtle, and you just feel like a sense of, calm, confidence, which doesn't. There's no crash. The taper's invisible, and it really supports with sleep as well. So yeah, people are just loving it, having a bit more, spring in the step, better mood, performing better at home, at work. Everything's a bit more manageable. And then because the sleep, the ingredients on our can, there's 1,000 milligrams of functional ingredients, and that really supports with sleep and recovery. So you're having a deeper sleep and you're waking up more refreshed. And yeah, women of a certain age as well. I think we've what we've seen is a lot of the women going through like perimenopause and menopause are saying how much this has helped them as well, which we wasn't in our plan. That we didn't create it for that, but it seems like the community have sort of answered in a particular way.
That's awesome, and that's always what tends to happen, right? Some surprise comes, and you just go with it, I suppose. Have to sort of get all of these great findings. Have you been, doing any, I don't know, early experiments or prioritizing using any specific metrics to understand, who this customer is and how you're going to target them in the future, right? Like maybe before you're using different channels, different media channels, and you're thinking, okay, to target this new customer that we have, we're going to change that potentially. And you used maybe some certain metrics to get there.
Yeah, interesting question. To be honest, well, like I mentioned, we did a lot of consumer tests before we went live. So we knew, like, in terms of, taste and benefit, that we were onto something. But what we didn't see is the sort of split in demographic. So yeah, we haven't changed tactics. We're still very much open. We're not really doubling down on a particular demographic, but it just seems through our, social media presence and, the way we put out mails and, interact with the community. Yes, definitely, there's definitely more interest in women at the moment, over the age of 35. So yeah, I think we'll keep doing what we're doing and see how that goes. But it's very early days for us, like 15 weeks in.
Yeah, of course.
We call it the crawl phase. We're just learning how to crawl at the moment.
And
so
what do you think you guys did in these, last 15 weeks to get to that first sellout? Like what tactics did you use, or what channels did you use to get there?
I think the things for us were doing a lot of that build up before launch, that R&D and the consumer test. So almost by default, you're getting the word out there before you launched. So there's a lot of people waiting for us to go live. I think that's a really smart thing to do. That wasn't by design, by the way. That was just like pure luck, that when we started to go out there and tell people about what we're doing and, can you try this and give us some feedback, you're starting to put the word out. So when we did go live, people knew about us. But also, yeah, I think social media plays a part. We're not big on socials. Our account's brand new. We've only been going, I think, maybe 20 weeks. We went live on Instagram, for example, just before we launched. And yeah, we put a lot of focus into our email nurture. So if customers buy from us, they'll get a great experience from that first purchase, all the way through. They'll learn about our team, our ingredients, who else we're working with, what we're up to, what events we've got up and coming. There's a lot of personalization, and you really feel part of the community. And because our product stands up, is great. We've got like very high. It's like over 60% repeat purchase. So people are loving the product, but also loving the community. So yeah, I think they're the things that have played a part. But again, not really by design. They're just sort of organically evolved that way. Like I said, this is new world for us, right? So we call it brick by brick. We're just putting one brick in front of the other, building our foundations.
That's great to hear that you have, so much retention in such a quick time. I mean, you're getting a lot of repeat customers. I know, right now you're in a growth phase, so you need to acquire, but
Yeah.
it's also really important to maintain those, first loyal customers, if you will. What are you guys thinking about doing, in the future to maintain those customers and maintain that loyalty, in terms of retention? What's top of mind?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I believe the focus that we're putting on community is really key because we know the product stands up and people are loving it. Just given the how many people are repeat buyers. So when you pair that with really nurturing the community and making people feel a part of the journey, I think those two things together is going to support with retention. And we're doing a lot of things that are only for the Authentic Brew Crew. So that's our community. That if you're not a part of that, you're going to miss out on. And these are some like incredible events that money can't buy. Premises, we're doing some really good stuff with our like partnerships as well. Some other bigger brands who want to be a part of our story are getting involved. So yeah, things like that, and we always want to do that because it's about people. For us, our mission is people and places. We want people and places to naturally thrive. That's like underpins our whole reason for launching Authentic Brew. So putting focus into that is something that's close to our hearts.
I really love the concept of the Authentic Brew Crew. I think it's amazing. What does that entail at the moment, and what plans do you have for it?
That's just our community, right? So if you come and
Hmm.
buy some Authentic Brew, you can be part of our community. And within that community, there's lots of information, events. There's lots of personalization. There's reward schemes. You can be a part of what we're up to next, like in terms of events, partnerships. We ask the community and see what they think. They help us with our like information decks and what's important for people to see. And we're getting a lot of feedback for that continual improvement. And yeah, I think that is really key for us as we build and grow, is to get that community totally on the journey with us. And then it doesn't feel like we're doing it ourselves. It feels like we're doing it with a band of people who are aligned to common purpose. And it really is people who have just had enough of the mainstream nonsense and are looking for something that's legit.
Absolutely. Yeah, sounds fun. Let's see if we can get a lot of crew members on board then.
Yeah, too right.
All right, last question. Uh, Founders, who are new, they're trying to go from 0 to 1 with a new product, especially something like DTC, Shopify, these sort of direct to consumer brands. What is the best advice you think you would give to them?
Do you know what? I think you just gave it. You've got to get that. You've got to get that first customer. So we wrote down, our, 1, 10, 100, 1,000, 10,000, 100,000, a million. To get to those points, you have to find the first one and do an amazing job with converting that single customer. So that's that was a big focus for us. And yeah, I think in terms of advice, that's a really good thing to focus on first. And if you can do that well, then you can move on to the next, the 10. When you do that well, then you can look for 100. But don't try and do a million in one hit, because you've got to have solid foundations first to scale. So yeah, brick by brick.
Absolutely. That's great advice, Mike. Well, I think I've taken up enough of your time. I really, really appreciate you joining us. And that's it for us. Thank you so much, Mike.
Oh, thanks, Olivia. Pleasure to be part of the chat, and thank you for all your great questions.
Yeah, of course.